When I think about the Nintendo Switch, it hits me like a memory that I don't want to let go of. Like a song from a summer that felt endless. Like a warm, flickering light in a room that's gotten too quiet. It's not just a console. It's not just plastic and circuits. It's a feeling. It's a moment. And for a lot of people, it was home. It's a heartbeat that's always there in the background of so many memories these past 8 years. A soundtrack to a time in life that felt simpler, or maybe just more full of wonder. The Switch didn't just give us something to play, it gave us something to really hold on to. The first time we saw the Nintendo Switch in action, it felt like a revolution whispered instead of shouted. The click of the Joy-Con sliding into place, the handoff, the seamless transition from docked to handheld, the rooftop party, the basketball court, the airplane, the flight, the future was here. We were skeptical at first, obviously. How could you not be? How could this really work? Could a console this flexible really be that good? Could it be real? But from that first presentation, Nintendo did what Nintendo does best. They showed us how games can feel again. And for once, it wasn't just a promise. Nintendo actually delivered. The Switch worked, and it worked like magic. It was a lot more than just new tech. It was a new freedom, a whole new way to play your favorite games. Play Zelda on your couch or under your blanket or during a layover in a nowhere airport. It felt like Nintendo had looked into our lives, looked into our routines of not just our days, but also maybe our months, even our lives, and our dreams, and designed something just for us. It was a system that said yes. Yes, you can bring it on a road trip. Yes, you can play it on your lunch break. Yes, it works just fine in handheld. Yes, you can take it with you. I love the Nintendo Switch because it never tried to be super cool, right? It didn't chase power, obviously, it chased play. The UI was simple, the games loaded fast, it wasn't bloated, it wasn't confusing or complicated, it was honest. It was pure. Every part of it was made to get you into the game and out of your head. And the games are the best part, easily, of this console. Having Zelda, a Zelda game as a launch title, was definitely ballsy, to say the very least, but Breath of the Wild, it was a mission statement for this generation. Open your eyes, go explore, go wherever. However, it redefined how people could perceive Zelda, and what a Zelda game could be. It reminded us how good it felt to just wander, because sometimes some of the best and most beautiful things are found on accident. And from there, it just kept hitting. Super Mario Odyssey, Animal Crossing New Horizons, Smash Ultimate, Splatoon 2 and 3, Metroid Dread, Fire Emblem 3 Houses, Xenoblade Chronicles, Bayonetta 3, Luigi's Mansion 3, Super Mario Maker 2, you get it! The Nintendo Switch has games. And you can't obviously forget the indies, Hades, Celeste, Hollow Knight, Dead Cells, Stardew Valley, Slay the Spire, Undertale. The Switch became a lifeline for indie developers, and it still is. And a gold mine for players looking for something new to play. A playground, a time machine, and it was always there when you needed it. But it wasn't just about the games. It was about when and how and with whom we played them. The detachable Joy-Cons, I will admit, felt a little gimmicky at first until you found yourself passing one to a friend. One system, 2 controllers, and instant fun. No barriers, no downloads, no excuses, just play. I've played Mario Kart on many airplane rides. I've handed a Joy-Con to a best friend. I've watched my sister discover and fall in love with Nintendo through Princess Peach Showtime. Joy unfiltered. I've gathered with friends for impromptu Smash or Mario Kart matches at someone's apartment. It just didn't end. And that's the secret. The Switch, it fit into your life, but it kind of molded to it. It expanded to it. It made social space where there was not any before. It invited connection when we needed it most. And during the pandemic, my gosh, the Switch was an absolute godsend, not just for myself, but I know for millions of others as well. Animal Crossing New Horizons, my first Animal Crossing and only Animal Crossing, became a way to visit friends. It became a way to go out and explore and have your own little society, your own little dwelling, this nice island away from the chaos and the uncertainty of everything that was happening in the real world. Video games became kind of like a therapy, a form of community when the world outside was completely off limits. The Switch held on to us and just kept saying to us that it was going to be okay, without really having to say anything at all. The Switch 1, I owe a lot to it. A lot of people owe a lot to the original Nintendo Switch. And I can't believe it's already been 8 years, right? I mean, this year marks 8 years since the first Switch came out, which is very long for a console generation, and it has more than proved itself one of the greatest consoles of all time. Maybe not the most powerful, but definitely one of the most special. And now we're approaching the end. The Switch 2 looms. It is next week already. It's stronger, it's smarter, it is far more capable. It's exciting. Of course it is. The next chapter is coming, but endings always carry a weight, no matter what they are. Because this little console, this little humble red and blue handheld hybrid has been with us for almost a decade, almost 10 years. It's watched us grow. It's marked birthdays and breakups. It's been there during good days and hard nights. It's been a constant in a world that just won't stop changing. And we're not leaving it behind. We're not leaving behind a machine. We're leaving behind the version of ourselves that played on it. The kid who stayed up way too late playing Tears of the Kingdom. The parent who played Mario Party with their children. The lonely 20-something who found peace in Stardew Valley. It's personal. And a lot of people aren't ready to let it go. And maybe I never will. And maybe I don't have to. The Switch isn't the most powerful console. It's not the flashiest. But it understood us. It asked, what if you could just play? Anywhere, anytime, with anyone. It didn't demand your attention. It invited it. And that's rare. That's, I would say, precious. It wasn't perfect. The specs left a lot to be desired. The Joy-Con drift, the online experience, the voice chat app, the friend code system. But even those flaws kind of became part of the story, part of the legacy of the Nintendo Switch. Because despite it all, we kept playing. We kept coming back. Because the core was so good, so honest, so pure, it made you forgive the shortcomings. And which console doesn't have shortcomings, right? Because when you're playing Super Mario Odyssey in handheld mode on a red-eye flight, and you look over and someone else is playing Zelda, and you both just nod at each other. That's not about specs. You're not talking about how underpowered it is. It's about sharing a moment together. That is what the Switch has done better than any console ever has. And so here we are, the end of this video, one generation winding down and another waiting in the wings. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you to all of you who have subscribed ever since I started this channel last January. I never thought it would balloon into something like this that I could actually make money off of. And thank you, Nintendo, for the magic. Thank you to the Switch for the memories, for the long nights, the saved screenshots, the final bosses, the quiet walks in open, vast worlds, for the laughter, for the escape, and for the comfort that this system has provided for millions and millions of people. And to the Switch 2, you have some massive shoes to fill, but I have no doubt you'll have no issue filling them. We're ready. Not because we're done with the Switch, not because we're ready to abandon it, but because we believe that Nintendo still knows how to surprise us. Still, once in a while, I'll power on my old Switch. You know, why not? I'll hear that click, see that home screen, maybe load up a save file from Breath of the Wild from 2017, and just maybe run for a little bit. I know it won't be as smooth, it won't look as good as the Switch 2, obviously, but that's kind of the point. I'll do that just for a minute, just to remember, just to reminisce. Because even when it's time to move on, no matter what it is, we cannot forget where we came from. We have to carry it with us, always.